Hello, welcome to Techturks. Today I have Ore. Ore is the founder of Arami, a beauty brand, and she's here to tell us her story. Ore, welcome to Techturks and thank you for coming on the show. Yes, let me start by asking you. So, Arami, what does it mean and why did you choose that name?
Arami means my body in Yoruba. So I'm Yoruba and it's not a tribal business at all. It's completely for everybody. I came up with the slogan for the business before I actually came up with the name. So the slogan for the business is "My body is a temple," and when I got that, I wanted the business to be called something to do with the body because it was definitely going to be all about the body and everything. So I started thinking of how we could call the business Body or My Body without calling it body. And I thought of different languages, but none of them seemed, because the basis of the business or the essence of the business is the African roots behind a lot of the ingredients, and of course it's produced in Africa and everything. So it just didn't seem right to have like another random language. So I just thought, okay, what is my body in Yoruba? And I got Arami, and I was like, okay, no, first I think I started with body in Yoruba, which is Ara. And I was like, okay, Ara is cool. And then I was like, okay, what is my body? Arami. Okay, cool. So I actually suggested both to my graphic designer at the time. And he's actually Caucasian, British, doesn't really know much about Yoruba or anything like that. And I just said, okay, what would you think about a beauty brand being called Ara or Arami? And he was like, definitely Arami. And, I really like the fact that he gravitated towards it immediately. And then he was able to come up with a really nice logo, which we still use till today. So that was how it started.
Well, it's fantastic, because if you had used Ara in Igbo, is madness. So that would have been interesting.
I wouldn't have been good.
Well, it depends how you look at madness anyway. So let me ask a question. Like, what were you doing before Arami? Did you just wake up and just do it? Or what drove you to do it, and why did you think that you could make a success out of it?
For me, I've definitely loved the beauty space for most of my lifetime. I've always loved hair, not necessarily makeup, but like hair and just skin, and just being able to express myself through that way. Where the business side of things started coming into my mind was really when I moved to Nigeria in 2014. So I spent like the best part of the first 2 years just waiting till I was going to travel again, waiting for parents to come at some point, or relatives or friends, and giving them a long list of things I needed, majority of which were cosmetics, because I couldn't find the cosmetics that I was using when I lived in the UK in Nigeria. And when I found them, they were just overpriced. For me, I was just like, this has to stop. Like, I need to stop asking people to bring me everything. If I'm going to live in Nigeria, let me live in Nigeria. Let me live like a Nigerian. I'm not going to live this like bubble life where I'm ordering things in and I can't survive. That really led me to a place where I was like, okay, what do people that live in Nigeria use and don't have access to, may even have access, but just use things that are Nigerian? And, because to me, Black people have great skin. Nigerians have great skin. I see people that literally are flawless day by day that are not wearing makeup. So what are people using on their skin and their hair? But then I wasn't still really thinking business wise then. I was more thinking, okay, personally, I found things that I want to use. I've seen some brands here, they're not bad, but I'd rather just make my own because I want to know what's inside. And, there's this whole craze of bleaching in Africa. So I don't want to use anything that's going to damage my skin or change my skin tone or anything. And so I'll just make my own things because I'm used to doing a lot of DIYs anyway, which is what I started doing, just making my own things. And then someone literally came over one day and was like, have you ever thought about selling all these things I use? Like, they're so nice. And like, you really should just make it a business. It made me think, and I stopped and I was like, okay, there might be something here. And, coupled with the experience I have in communications with branding and marketing and building something, this is almost like a sweet spot. Like, could this really be something that works? And that was really how the journey started.
So, and that's very interesting, because when I go to your website, I can see it's well done, it's clean, it's neat. And one of the blockers, especially in buying Nigerian products, is, the packaging, what you see and how you communicate it. Now, so like the packaging is great, but in terms of communication, How have you created awareness for the Arami brand? How do you because you're actually competing with the international brands, because your target market will be affluent type people in the Nigerian space?
So what we've tried to do is really focus on a number of things that we believe set us apart. So we feel that our main focus is on safe and effective ingredients that actually work. So right now we're moving away from just shea butter, black soap, oils, and natural and everything. And what we're now trying to do is to use innovative ways of marrying these products with ingredients from around the world that can make them more active. So yes, shea butter does a lot of things, it cures a lot of things, but there are some ingredients that have been found since shea butter was discovered that can actually increase, almost like act as a catalyst effect for what these things actually do. So I feel like that is one of the main things that really sets us apart, where we're based on natural ingredients, but we're not afraid to play in the world space of innovative ingredients that have been found and are effective at curing concerns. And we also understand that our customer is actually smarter than people think they are. Google is at your fingertips. You can literally ask Google anything. And rather than trying to stick to what has been done, we want to, grow with our customers and say, we now know that it's good to use sunscreen, for instance. So we're going to create a sunscreen for you. We know that acne cannot be solved through this one ingredient. So we're going to infuse this with something else.
And most of your products sold online or physically? Because I think you started digitally. So, that the disruption from COVID wouldn't have been that much for your business, because that's how you started. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think, yes, the entrepreneurial journey, I mean, if anybody told me 5 years ago that this is what the journey was going to hold, I would definitely not have probably embarked on it. No, because I mean, it's like one life. Do I really want to be stressed the whole time? But at the same time, saying that, it's so rewarding, and I'm actually very grateful that I did embark on this journey. It hasn't been easy, and I think one thing that I don't take for granted is that I didn't really know anything when I started. Like I said, I worked in a completely different sector before I started Arami, and I didn't really know much. That is the honest truth. I haven't been to business school yet, and I really didn't know much about building a business. That's the honest truth. And I think that there is some beauty in starting something when the skill set and the knowledge is a bit raw, because you take some certain things for granted and you don't overthink certain things. And there are some times where you should probably be scared, but you're not that scared because you don't know what is actually ahead. So I think that I don't take for granted the fact that I started small and with little knowledge, because I literally learned on the go.
Last question, because I can ask you forever. So on your website, on your communication, it's women, 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 women. What about the men? You're excluding another, a large number of people, and you're assuming that we have different skins.
All of our products are actually unisex, and we have a lot of male customers as well. One thing that we found, though, is that a lot of men, their skincare products are actually bought by the women in their lives. That's what we've actually found. We've done a lot of research and we've asked a lot of our customers. And whether it's girlfriends, sisters, moms, a lot of them, their products are bought from females. But we really do try to also, focus a lot on the male audience as well, because we know that men want to take care of their skin. They want a beard gang. They want to take care of it and everything. So, we know that there is an audience that may not quite be resonating with the content that we're putting out. And that is something that we are constantly trying to evolve into. But we're not trying to say this part is for men, this part is for women. We want to more deal with concerns. So, something like a concern that a lot of men have is razor bumps from shaving. But women get razor bumps as well, because women shave different areas of their body as well. So we would look at a product that is for razor bumps rather than a product for men that is for razor bumps.
So, all right. Thank you very much for coming on Techturks. It's been wonderful. And it's been going forever, but good things must come to an end, and we'll continue the conversation offline.